Watch me go, go. Never slow, slow. Make 'em whoa, whoa. Watch me go, go, go. Watch me go, go. Never slow, slow. Make 'em whoa, whoa. Watch me go, go, go. Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go.
This goes. This is Reala Ace. So guys, this is the Fuji XM5 in the studio. May need to adjust my lighting here, but this is what I have so far. Just testing it out to see what it looks like on a studio setting. If this could be used with a microphone here, paired up with the TTRSN 27mm lens. I do like this lens. I do want to try other lenses. I'm gonna go back to the kit lens here and put this on here in a second in the studio and see what that looks like with the kit lens. Again, this is a lens I would probably use more, especially when I'm doing walk around video, because it has IBIS inside the lens, but it's better than having nothing at all. One thing I wish the XM5 had that Sony had was, even though I didn't really use it, but it had gyro data. So if I had an image that I was like, wow, that's really stabilized pretty bad, I could go into Catalyst Browse and then with the gyro data and Sony smooth out that footage better than I could like on a third-party software like I use Final Cut Pro to help stabilize my footage. So I'm gonna say this statement probably more than once. I'm not sure if I use it here, but I read a comment that Fuji XM5 versus a Sony, Fuji is a toy, Sony is a tool.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
I first read that and I was like, ooh, that's rough. Especially if you're a Fuji person. And I don't like the word toy. Toy means being like it's just cheap, whatever. I would say Fuji, this camera to me is more a creative tool than a work tool. Sometimes we get cameras and we get that gear fever. We always want to use it, take pictures here and there, all that kind of stuff. Now, will it run out? Will that fever run out? Well, am I going to be like, yeah, I'm done with this? I go back and forth. Sell this guy, get this. Sell this guy, get that. Get an older A7C full frame. Get a ZV-10 Mark II. The question is that if I had that camera in my hand, the ZV-10 Mark II, is it going to inspire me to go out and take photos or even video? Because mainly I'm getting this for a photo. Will it inspire me to go do that? I don't think it will. No more than my A7R5 will. It sits up there, it does the hard work, takes all the important pictures I need to get done. I'm thinking more about keeping the Fuji longer, yes! Giving it another chance.
Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!
Let me grow with it. Let me learn the menu system in and out, all the things that it does. Fix the issues that I have, like my thumb rests on the back of the screen and then it easily touches that screen. So either changes the focal point or changes something else on the camera or the ISO. The ISO I find really hard to control. I need to figure that out. I want to lock my ISO in and not move around. And I swear you touch that button on the front, it just zooms up to 12,800, which is like, wow. So I got to figure that part out. So I think maybe I was too rushed to judgment with the Fuji XM5, with the time period that I had of, all right, that image is grainy, I don't like that. Maybe it's because I added grain to the image, or maybe that's the film that I set it on. Let me switch this lens, and then I want to talk about what I learned with Final Cut Pro. So now we have it on the 15 to 45er. I'm a little bit further away. It looks a little bit darker because they got up to 3.6 on the aperture ring. All right, the box is over my eyeball, which always gives you that confidence level up. I did set the Kelvin to 5600, which matches the lighting up here. Now, what I was saying was, I wish there was a way for my RAW files in this camera to be able to put the film simulations on those files, because I like the raw images better because they're higher quality, higher megapixel, all that kind of stuff. If you don't know, I didn't know, but I'll show you here a raw photo. It says Adobe Color. Click on that. It has a drop-down box, like the default camera, and then you'll see all the simulations that's inside the camera. Yep. So I can click on each one and see what it looks like with my raw file that I just took with my JPEG. So I didn't know that, and so I looked into the Sony, and the Sony does the same thing. So the ST, the FL, the VV, and the Sony simulation stuff, if you take a picture with a Sony camera, those are there also. Didn't know that all these years. I think it's a matter of me really dialing into the menu system, learning this camera better to get a better idea whether I should keep it or sell it. So right now I am in a holding period. Give me some comments down below of tricks and trades to lock your ISO off. I've turned off the screen where I can't touch it anymore when it comes to moving it around. I use the joystick now to rearrange my focus if I'm going to rearrange it. That has helped out. Let me fill it in 6K open gate and see what that looks like. All right, this is 6K open gate. So I can do a TikTok style right here, or I can landscape it out that way. How does the color look on 6.2K? And I was filming in 4K 60 before, so that is not the best. So let me go back to 4K 24 frames. But this is 6K. How does this look? 4K 24 frames per second. Sometimes the screen on the Fuji is better than the Sony. And sometimes I'm tricked to like, this looks really good. And then I look at the computer and I'm like, not so good. I don't have it on product showcase, so let's see what that looks like. Hide my face. If you're going to use like this TT Artisan lens for your filming, the autofocus is loud. If you're using the onboard microphones with the XM5, you will hear. And this is a microphone from within the camera. Let's look at the. All right, to wrap up this video, I want to go ahead and show you where I am now with the Fuji XM5. I picked up a couple of accessories, picked up the Fuji flashlight from B&H for around 35–40 bucks. It's the EF X8. It's an old school style flash. There's no batteries inside. It uses the batteries from the camera itself, which is cool. That way you can throw it in your bag, forget about it, and then when you need it, you can break it out and not be like, oh, I need to get batteries for it. Nope. Works just fine with the camera battery. Flips down when you're not using it. Has an old school look, but you can go inside the camera and tone down the level of flash. So it's on TTL, and then you can kind of tone it down for exposure wise and kind of play with it. Just be careful with a hood like this. It will have a little shadow. So if I take off this lens cover, even with this 13 mil I just picked up, the shadow is not there, which is great. So this is the 13 Viltrox lens, 13 millimeter, 1.4. I picked it up off eBay for about $290. I think it's like 4 something. Maybe it's on sale around 400 bucks if you buy it from Pure Gear Direct. I like the wide angle lens of this lens, and the 1.4 aperture is nice. So am I getting into this Fuji system? I'm going to dive into it and try it. I have 2 other lenses on order, a 57 and a 35, all from either TT Artisan or Viltrox. I will use those, comment on those, and see what it's like. But I want this to be my everyday in the bag camera, always having it when you need it to break out to take photos of whatever. The Sony that I'm playing on right now, the R5, is going to be my main camera, of course, for this type of video. I do like this for video more than I thought it would. It looks really good, the color and the look. So that's interesting if I want to keep using this in the studio. All right, that's it for this one. Come back for more. We've got a lot more Fuji stuff to go over. If you got questions, anything you want me to try while I have the camera, you know what to do. All right, see you.